Hello, today I'm going to show you how to tie your own detachable sinking tips. What I'm going to be using today is a piece of old full sinking line. I've cut into about a 2.5 foot section. What you're going to be needing is some UV resin, a UV torch, and some super glue, some scissors. We're going to be using 210 denier thread. I'm using chartreuse right here so you guys can see what I'm doing. First thing we're going to do is add just a little drop of super glue. This will help hold it, waterproof super glue. And let it just sit right there. Now take your thread and just start doing wraps nice and tight as you can. And I normally leave one loop bigger, the one that I use to connect to my fly line. Once you got enough wraps, I'll go ahead and cut my tag and start a 5-turn whip finish. Pull it tight, break it off. Take your UV resin and put a nice glob on. Make sure it coats all around it. Take your torch, hit it with your torch. If you have a rotary vise like I do, you can just run it around and around. Make sure you hit it thorough, and once this hardens, it ain't gonna come loose. I've got steelhead on these loops and they hold up just fine. When you're sure that it's nice and hard, go ahead and take it out of the vise, trim off the extra, and I'll add a little bit more UV resin right at the end. Just to make sure, because I'm paranoid it doesn't come loose. Alright, now for the other side. I'm just going to fold it over, give it a nice pinch where it hangs together well, put it back in my vise, and just tighten it down. And what I'm going to do is repeat the steps. Add a little drop of super glue. And start my thread wraps. And like I said, I would normally use black thread on this, but I want to let you guys see what I'm doing. Keep wrapping. Snip or break off your tag. And just make sure you have a nice thread base on there. Doesn't have to be super huge. The super glue and the UV resin work really well together, and they'll make it hold. And just do another 5-turn whip finish. Cut or break your thread. Again, add a nice glob of UV resin. Make sure it coats the entire portion of the thread wraps. Hit it with your torch. When you feel comfortable that it's nice and dry, go ahead and cut your torch off. Stay. Go ahead and open it up. Trim off your tag. I wish I had my smaller scissors. Taking out a little bit more UV resin to the end with the tag. Hit it with the torch. And you've made your own detachable sink tip with loop-to-loop connections. These are awesome and they won't break. Like I said, I've got steelhead on these. This main line will fail long before these connections do. These are really awesome to have in your bag for just cutting down on weight, so you don't have to carry one extra fly line. You can just attach this right to your regular floating and you get a nice sink tip. You can set these on different lengths. Like I said, you can use lead core, or if you have an old sink tip you don't use anymore, just trim off the sink tip and add the connections. I hope you like this video. I hope you'll like, comment, subscribe. Please tell your friends. And most of all, I hope you have a great day in tight lines.